It's official, like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So a lot of people have been talking about the Dame Dash interview that he did on the Breakfast Club with these goofies. And I think it's worth checking out. He was giving a lot of good game on there, especially about business and bankruptcy. And one of the things that really stuck out about this interview is every time Dame started to talk about business, they kept cutting him off. Whenever they started talking some goofy shit, they let him ramble. But every time it was talking about some business, getting out of debt, putting shit in your business name and not your name, they just kept cutting them off. That's what I noticed about this interview the whole time. And when they got into some goofy shit, they didn't care about that. So there's a couple clips. Let's check it out.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay. Like, your OG is Wendy Williams. My OG is sitting right here. You see him? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you why he's my OG. Because he killed anybody or any of those things. He just taught me how to be a better man.
Wendy's not my OG.
Can you
That's
stop?
Funny, though.
Can you stop?
Wendy Williams is your OG.
Wasn't she your boss?
Yeah, at one point.
So she was your OG. She put you on, and you should give her grace, and you should also give her props out of respect. Because we have different trauma, like we're different. Like I'm not the kind of guy that would I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran.
Yeah,
I'd rather get my ass whipped, and it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Now, this is a good point because him and Charlemagne and Emily, they're saying a lot of weird, goofy shit on there. I mean, a lot of the shit they be saying on there sometimes is borderline gay shit. Stuff that I would never say amongst men. So I understand where Dame is going with this. You know, it's weirdos, man.
This is hilarious. I love what you're doing. This is hilarious.
So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip, which is, is very feminine, and you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity, because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need to be worried about girl stuff. Do you think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you? He'd run, and you'd have to run with him. I like my women to feel safe when they're around me. I don't tell people and I'm not saying that's your way, but you're just not masculine. I've seen him run. I looked at a whole reel of, there's like a thing that says how many people bark. There's stuff that how many times you talk about other people's genitals. You real masculine men don't.
Yeah, they talk like that on this show. And nobody really says anything. It's some weirdo shit. And so he's making some good points. Dame is the first person I ever heard check these dudes about the weirdo shit they be saying on this show.
Do that. You said that some guys was throwing you kisses because they liked your paws butt, and you went back. That's gay.
Why do you have such a problem with gay?
I don't have a problem. I have a problem with you. Wait. No. Yeah, that is why I pause. There's a lot of people like you. There's a lot of people like you that are gay that pretend they're not.
Black men can't be gay.
Black men that are gay should say they're gay.
Well, I'm not gay.
You are. You're gay. Anyway. Now let me talk to you.
Broke.
Let me ask
you.
Let me say this. You acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't. And you won't do shit.
See, Dame, this is with the chat patty. So just so you know, because I knew you was gonna say.
I've seen you run. Yes. I've seen you. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying no. Then your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now, and you were talking like that. I would have fucked you up. But I'm not gonna do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up.
But then
I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's end this. So let me say one more thing before I leave.
I had so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right.
How you want to leave? You can't get in your emotions and want to leave, Dane.
No, what I'm saying is when you interrupt me and you say certain things, where I'm from, the masculine man will fuck you up.
Yeah,
but because let me finish. No, I didn't. I said
not gonna happen.
I didn't say that. I said I could, and you wouldn't do anything.
And we gonna fight.
I didn't see that on tape. You ran.
Yeah, because it was 4 guys, but that's cool.
Let me ask what happened when 30 guys jumped me.
Respect.
I got that ass whipping, but I fucked them niggas up.
I think it's been some head trauma ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they just kept, and the clips that I would say the part of the interview that's probably the most important, they don't even have it up here. But that's why I say you gotta go look at the entire interview.
Side. There's no windows in here. This shit is crazy. Look at the dog.
We can open it.
I'm gonna show
There's a curtain. We can lift
a curtain. Y'all in the behind the stage. A curtain. Y'all in the coffin. I would never. This is uninspiring. It's just dirty and all that shit. You're a girl. You clean this shit up.
Look at your sneakers. Your sneakers are dirty.
Your
sneakers filthy. That ain't like you, Dane.
I just see how you lying?
They wrinkled.
I just put this on today.
I'm just fucking with you. You can't too much.
See, this is the end of the interview, and see they got it. They're doing some goofy shit. This is not important. The end of the interview wasn't important. The beginning and the middle of the interview is the most important part. And that's the part that they kept cutting them off.
Masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams. My OG is sitting right here.
Yeah, so they only got.
Everyone says I yell. What happens is when people cut me off, I talk louder. So if you cut me off, I'm gonna talk louder. It's not gonna be any disrespect. I just don't like being cut off because I want to be able to complete my point. And I'll do this, give you the same respect.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this. I'd like you to every single thing that you've been saying when I'm not here and question you've had now that I'm here, I'd like you to ask me. You too.
My first question was about.
I like that. I like how now this is the beginning of the interview. Because he knows that they've been talking about him, saying all the goofy shit behind his back, right? So now he's saying all the stuff y'all been saying online. We can talk about that right now in front of my face. I like that. I like that. That was smooth.
The Paid in Full.
What about it?
Did you own Paid in Full? Like, how did 50 Cent acquire ownership of Paid in Full?
Let me ask you a question. Let's put this in.
That's not how this works, Dane. No.
I'm sorry.
I asked the question.
You just cut me off. Right? Now I want you to notice every time you do that.
Okay.
And they would say I'm bugging if I yell, but please let me complete my sentence. And please don't tell me how we do things. That's going to be a trigger. So I'm just talking normally. Do you remember when 50 Cent was supposed to be putting out a documentary about Puff on Netflix?
Yes.
Where is it?
I think it's still happening.
Yeah, right. He's capping. So I talk a different language than most people. I'm a boss. So number one, there is no rights to be bought. So I knew he was trolling. And you got to remember, KM tried to have my son come on. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think messing with...
Now, more than likely, that's true. Because I know a little thing about publishing. Movies, books, music. I'm in the publishing game. Most of the time, when people are wanting to buy the rights, they want to buy the ownership of the product, right? Because they want to reuse it in some type of way, or they want to do a part 2 or something like that in regards to a movie or something like that, or it could be a book too. But that's not even necessary in most cases. And you know why? I'm gonna give you a good example. A good example of this, because you have people that have written books about certain topics, and somebody else will write a story about the same type of topic, and they didn't buy no rights because it wasn't really necessary. The only reason it would be really, it really doesn't make sense really for you to buy the rights of any product unless you want to own that product itself. If you want to take ownership of that product itself, like for example, I remember there's a book called Players. There's an old book called Players that some black reporter, he was a journalist, wrote, like, I want to say 40, 50 years ago. And Tariq Nasheed bought the rights to the book. And he put a different cover on the book and started selling the book on Amazon. That makes sense. He wanted ownership of the book. He wanted to own the book. And he knew the book would sell because, that makes sense, right? But in most cases, it doesn't, especially if you don't know if it's going to sell, or maybe you probably not capable of selling whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense. I know sometimes certain movies, like Fridays, for example, I think Universal own the rights, right? Cube doesn't own the rights, right? He just directed the movie. But he wanted to do a Friday, I think it's a Friday, I don't know, 4 or 5 or whichever number is next, right? Cube got a new movie coming out. Friday, I think it's a part 4 or 5, whatever number it is, right? So he got the rights. That makes sense, right? If you want to do a part 2, part 3, or whatever, right? But in this case, it doesn't make sense, So 50 probably is capping. He probably is. Let's see what else.
For people's children is all right. Can you answer that question?
No,
that's not fair.
No, because you didn't answer the original question.
I did answer it. I just told you he's capping.
So he didn't get the rights to it.
How would that's the thing is, you know what the problem is?
The problem is how
you cut me off again.
I'm asking you a question for you to
cut me off again. See this?
No.
Now he answered the question. He said 50 was capping. But for whatever reason, Charlemagne didn't like the answer.
Let's take a commercial break.
Come on, man.
You keep cutting me. You don't think that's problematic that you keep cutting people off and you're interviewing them?
Okay.
You're really trying to tell me how to answer, and you expect me not to?
No, I just want you to
answer. Are you trying to trigger me?
No, I just want you to answer.
Okay. So then let me. How can I answer? You keep cutting me off.
Okay.
I told you he doesn't have the rights. No one has the rights. Who are you gonna buy the rights from? I wasn't planning on making Paid in Full about those people again. I was making
exactly. This is like I said. The only reason to buy the rights if you want to use the previous people material in the original movie. That's just like I said. But that's not even necessary because you don't have to use the same material. You know what I'm saying? We see that people do that with books, movies, documentaries all the time. They'll create their own version of how the Bronx was back in the day, or how their own version of hip hop, like they're doing now. Whether it's true or false, but they create their own version. And they didn't have to buy the rights for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So that's how what 50 is saying online. He's probably trolling. It doesn't make sense. It's not necessary.
My Paid in Full, and you don't have to buy the rights. I was actually there, so 50 trolls. And I was saying, and I felt like you were interrupting me, and I'd like you to answer my question now. Do you feel like I've answered yours?
Yes.
Do you think it's all right to bring people's children involved?
No.
Did you know that Cam called my son and tried to give him money?
I heard you say that.
You think that's okay?
I need to know what he gave him, tried to give him money
It doesn't
for.
matter. He's my... Okay. Do you think that's
He might have
okay?
been offering him a job. I don't know.
I've heard your answer. Do you think it's okay?
I don't know the relationship. Like y'all from the same place.
I got
and
it.
like he might look at Cam as his uncle. I don't know the relationship.
Duly
if there
noted.
is no relationship,
Duly noted.
Then I get it. I
we're
understand.
different.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. You should know that if someone's beefing with someone, you don't tell their kids, and you don't get with that person's children, and you know better than that. So don't act stupid.
If y'all are beefing, then that's something different. If
Are we not beefing?
Are y'all really beefing? No, would you call it beef? You said it's not beef.
Well,
that's your brother.
It's not. I'm not going to get violent. It's definitely like him coming against me is almost like Fredo going against Michael Corleone. My favorite movie of all time is The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
I studied it. I read the book. It burnt me out. Remember Godfather 2 when he pretended to be weak?
Mm-hmm.
Then he took out the 5 families, and then his brother Fredo betrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
See, betrayal is something that happens over and over again. You can never expect not to get betrayed by your brother. That you remember last time I was here, I said you don't mess with. I know that's why I don't be around men.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know they betrayed Jesus. I said this.
You walked in here with a man.
That's true. Us guys, we're very competitive. You know what I'm saying? That's why he doesn't like being around a bunch of guys. I mean, that makes sense. You know, like me personally, I don't bring a bunch of guys in my home or around my family, you know, because guys are very competitive. You know, and this is a mistake that I made when I was younger. You know, I used to bring everybody over and let everybody hang out. And everybody know where I live at and everything. And I got, and I learned my lesson from that. Because guys are competing. Guys, this is why a guy will smash your girl or smash your daughter or steal your money or steal your jewelry. Because they're just competitive like that. Jealousy is contagious sometimes.
Can I finish, please? Charlemagne,
Stop cutting him off.
Don't you do the therapy thing?
Yeah, but
I want you to ask your therapist, do you interrupt people and how problematic that is at this age?
But you said you don't be around men.
Stop cutting them off.
See, there's the emotional intelligence. Now you're going to go in on my words. That's
on,
dumb. Man. Come on, man. Let's move forward. Let's move with effort.
Yeah, so they kept cutting them off. Basically, the most important part of the interview, they have none of those clips on here. So you got to go to the Breakfast Club YouTube channel and look at it if you want to see the entire interview. It's worth looking at for sure, especially the part about business, putting stuff in your business name, taking stuff out of your name, put it in somebody in a business name. Let me tell you the strategy behind that. The strategy behind that is it's hard for you to get sued. It's hard for you to get sued. That's why Dame has been saying that he's been broke for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years now. What that means is there's nothing in his name. All of his accounts, as much as possible, I would think, is it's in the business name, family business name. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he was saying. Now, a lot of people that don't know might not understand and grasp what he's saying. But basically, this is what rich, wealthy people do with their money when they get a little bit of it. They take everything out of their name and put it in and create a business and put it in the business name. That way, it's hard for them to get sued. It's going to be hard for an attorney to try to collect money and get money out of you. You have nothing. If you have no personal income, what they going to do? How you going to sue me? And when they start talking about the bankruptcy, I understand all that shit because I filed bankruptcy like 20 years ago. So if you don't, I'm gonna say a lot of people don't really understand what bankruptcy and how it works and how business really operates. And so most people would see the interview and they would say, oh, he's a scam, a liar, whatever. Now, now let me tell you how I know. One of the main reasons how I know DJ Envy understands what Dame was talking about. Maybe Charlemagne didn't understand, but Envy understands because Envy's a rich dude. That's how I know he understands. I don't know about Charlemagne. I don't know if, I'm not sure. But Envy for sure understands because he's in the real estate. So he definitely understands what Dame was talking about, but he kept cutting them off. And like they kept cutting them off when it came to the most important information during the interview. You know, when they was talking about some goofy shit, that was funny. But when it's time to get real and talk about some shit that can really change your life, they just kept cutting them off. So I think, it's worth checking the interview out. Go to the Breakfast Club YouTube channel. Like, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like.